expressed on this show are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production of Glory 93.9 FM.
Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street. Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women.
And good afternoon, everyone, and good morning, everyone. Oh boy, I live in good. Good morning, everyone. It's still morning, and welcome to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Glory 93.9 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm, and as always, it's a pleasure to be in your company today. Today's Wednesday, so you know what that means. Today is going to be a show all about wellness. It's a Wellness Wednesday. And as promised, we are going to be talking today about brain health. Brain health, a very, very important topic to discuss because so many people, either you or someone you know, is suffering with some kind of neurological disorder. I mean, it's become such a prevalent problem. And we're going to be looking specifically at causes and what you can do to reverse brain diseases and better your chances to not come down with one to begin with. That's what we're going to be talking about today. And I have to tell you, you're going to be hearing some information that you are going to be surprised to learn. Because I know when you hear, oh, we're going to be talking brain health today, you're going to think, oh, okay, we're just going to be talking about things like ginkgo and whatever I can take to strengthen my brain or support my brain function. And it's not going to be what you think it's going to be today. Because what you will learn in this show is that there is this interconnected system in your body that affects your brain. So it's not just about focusing only on the brain, but it's about fixing the other systems that have an impact on brain function. I'm going to do this in a two-part series because in the first part, I'm just going to be focusing on brain health in general, which means that this will encompass discussions about Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and any other degenerative brain disease. So this is going to be more of a general show today. And then on future shows, I will focus on specific conditions like Parkinson's or Alzheimer's. But today we're going to be looking at the general question of brain health. Because one of the things that you're going to learn is that what you call the condition that you're watching pretty much just is determined by where that damage is in the brain, but it's all the same thing. 1 centimeter to the left and you got this condition, 1 centimeter to the right and you call it something else, but it's all the same thing. And we're going to be talking about that today. Now, you may say, why are you talking to me about brain health, Michelle? You are not a neurologist. You are right. But I am a certified holistic health coach. I received my certification last July from the Institute of Holistic Health, and we have been trained on the protocols of Dr. Joel Wallach, who was my guest last week, Wednesday. If you missed that show, go to the official Michelle Malcolm Facebook page and make sure you listen to that show with Dr. Wallach from last week, because this man is brilliant. And as in the show last week, he was talking about why people of color succumb more to COVID than other ethnic groups. And it's like he said, it's not our color, it's our culture. You have to go and watch that show. But I digress a bit. But all of what we were taught in the Institute is based on the protocols of Dr. Joel Wallach. And so this is what qualifies me to have this conversation with you today. I'm not a neurologist, but I am a certified holistic health coach. And our approach is quite different from that of the MD, because the MD focuses on just the symptom, or focuses in the case of brain health just on the brain. Whereas our belief is that there is a complete system that is impacting your brain function. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And I'm going to be playing several clips that are going to explain in detail what it is that I want you to get to understand. So when it comes to brain health, you have to understand what a big problem this is. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention defines brain health as an ability to perform all the mental processes of cognition, including the ability to learn and judge, use language, and remember. The brain is a very complex organ that has at least 3 levels of functions that affect all aspects of our daily lives. Interpretation of senses and control of movement is 1. Maintenance of cognitive, mental, and emotional processes is 2. And maintenance of normal behavior and social cognition is 3. So brain health may be defined as the preservation of optimal brain integrity and mental and cognitive function at a given age in the absence of overt brain diseases that affect normal brain function. Okay, so if we want to look at a definition of brain health, that is what it would be. Now, I want you to hear these statistics because it's a huge problem. Globally, neurological disorders were the leading cause of disability adjusted life, years, 276 million people suffering from this, and the second leading cause of death with 9 million in 2016, according to the Global Burden of Disease study. Stroke, migraine, Alzheimer's disease, and other dementias, because Alzheimer's is just a form of dementia. There are 4 types of dementia. And meningitis are the largest contributors to neurological disability adjusted life years. About 1 in 4 adults have a stroke in their lifetime. From the age of 25 years onward, roughly 50 million people worldwide were living with dementia in 2018. And the number will more than likely, they say, triple to 152 million people by the year 2050. In the following decades, governments will face an increasing demand for treatment, rehabilitation, and support services for neurological disorders. So clearly, this is a major problem. This is not just some little drop in, this is a major, major problem. The Bahamas is no exception. We all know someone who is either battling a neurological disorder or has a loved one, or we ourselves are going through it. And so this is a conversation that we really need to have. So I want to talk about the effects of major neurological disorders on brain health. Several neurological disorders may disrupt brain function and affect your health. Medically, neurological disorders that cause brain dysfunction can be classified into 3 groups. Brain diseases with overt damage to brain structure, such as cerebrovascular diseases, traumatic brain injury, brain tumors, meningitis, and communication and sensory disorders. Functional brain disorders with detectable destruction of brain connections or networks, such as neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and other dementias, and mental disorders such as schizophrenia, depression, bipolar disorder, alcoholism, or drug abuse. And then there are other brain disorders without detectable structural or functional impairments, such as migraines and sleep disorders. These neurological disorders may have different or common effects on brain health and function. For example, Alzheimer's disease is the main type of dementia with a decline in different domains of cognitive function. Mood disorders may cause dysfunction in execution, reward processing, and emotional regulation. In addition to physical disability, aphasia, gait and balance problems, and cerebrovascular disease may lead to cognitive impairment and dementia, which are neglected by both patients and physicians. Now, here's the thing that I need you to understand. No matter which of these neurological diseases you are battling, it all boils down to one thing. These are all types of degeneration. It's your body degenerating. And this is really what all diseases are about, degeneration. So whether you have Alzheimer's or Parkinson's or bipolar disorder, whether you have arthritis, whether you have, I don't know, I mean, you name the disease, it's all about the degeneration of the body. So when you're talking about addressing a disease, whether it's arthritis, whether it's heart disease, whether it's Alzheimer's or Parkinson's, the first thing you need to do is not zone in on that organ. The first thing you need to do is fix the problem, the source of the problem that is leading to the degeneration. Make sense? Now, you're going to be shocked to learn where that all begins. Because as we were taught in the Institute of Holistic Health, your condition, that neurological disorder that you may have, didn't just pop up. That is a result of years and years and years of degeneration. And so if you want to fix that problem, as opposed to just focusing on the brain, you have to fix the source of the degeneration problem, correct? Where is that? The gut. Gut health is extremely important to overall health, including neurological health. Studies are now showing that there is a definite connection between what is called leaky gut and what they're now terming as leaky brain, where you can't remember stuff, you can't concentrate, you have cognitive impairment. All of this is called leaky brain. And now they're realizing that there's a direct connection between leaky gut and a leaky brain. So in this clip, pharmacist Ben Fuchs is going to explain the brain-gut connection and why it is critical when you're talking about trying to heal a brain disorder that you first start with healing the gut. That's clip number 1.
Okay, yeah, we get a lot of letters on Alzheimer's disease. The most important thing to recognize about AD, Alzheimer's disease, is it is simply a degenerative health crisis that affects the brain. In the same way that macular degeneration is a degenerative health issue of the macula, arthritis is a degenerative health issue of the joints, multiple sclerosis is a degenerative health issue of the nerves, AD is a degenerative health issue of the cognitive center in the brain. If you move a little bit in the brain and you get a degenerative condition, you may affect movement and you'll call Parkinson's disease. And the fact that it happens to be located a few centimeters in a different place doesn't make a difference. You follow me? It is simply a degenerative condition, and this is how we have to recognize it from a healing perspective. If you want to reverse any degenerative disease, it's important to recognize the degenerative process as a generic phenomena. It doesn't matter where it's occurring. It matters that it's occurring. So what do you do for Alzheimer's disease? Well, first thing, the first thing you always do when you're confronted with a chronic degenerative crisis is you work on the digestive system. There's two reasons for this. Number one, if the digestive system is compromised, stuff is going to get into the blood. Food particles are going to get into the blood. Bacteria will get into the blood. Bacterial outgassings will enter into the blood. You're going to initiate an inflammatory process, and this is going to make it difficult to recover. So, for one thing, you want to correct digestive health issues because you want to prevent stuff from getting into the blood. But from a second reason why you want to work on the digestive system is because if you have a digestive system breakdown, you're not going to be absorbing your nutrients. So on the one hand, you're going to be getting toxicity. On the other hand, you're not going to be getting nutrients. So it's critical to focus on digestive health for all degenerative health issues, including AD, including Alzheimer's disease. That means, number one, a food diary, keep track of problem foods. Foods that cause digestive distress need to be eliminated. Then strengthening the digestive system using fermented foods, using the biolumin nightly essence, probiotics, using connective tissue builders like glucosamine and chondroitin, cartilage, bone soup. Anything that you could do that would build up your joints if you had arthritis is going to help build the digestive tract as well. Fucoidan, the Fucoid Z, or the Z radical contain polysaccharides that can help coat the digestive system. So building the digestive tract lining is very important because it will help eliminate toxicity from getting into the blood, which will slow down recovery and make the symptoms worse. And number two, it'll help support nutrient absorption.
If you know anybody who is battling a neurological disorder or has a loved one who is, please get them on this show. Like and share the show, people, because we're going to be sharing some information today that you're not going to hear mainstream, but is so important towards the process of healing. And yes, you can heal from degenerative brain disorders. So what he would have explained a moment ago is that gut health is extremely important. And you would have heard him talk about avoiding foods that damage your gut. This is a very important part of this conversation because there's only so much that nutrition can do. And if you are eating poorly, if you're eating foods that are actually damaging your gut, then you're victimizing yourself twice because you're damaging the very apparatus that is responsible for absorbing nutrition. So you're not going to get the nutrients that you think you're getting. And then you're going to be speeding up the degenerative process when you are damaging your gut. So you are victimizing yourself twice. So let's quickly talk about the foods that you should be avoiding. Top of the list, gluten, wheat, barley, rye, or oats. Anything made with wheat, barley, rye, or oats should be avoided because it is damaging your gut. And as he would have just explained in that clip, when your gut is damaged, the villi that are responsible for absorbing the nutrients into your body become damaged. So now you're not absorbing nutrients. And then on top of that, toxic stuff that's not supposed to be in your bloodstream is getting in there now because the villi that would have protected that from happening are damaged. So now you're getting toxins into your bloodstream. You're getting pathogens into your bloodstream. You're getting food particles into your bloodstream. All these things that shouldn't be there. And all of this causes an inflammatory response. And that is bad news for your entire body, including your brain. So you want to avoid all wheat, all barley, all rye, all oats. Oatmeal, avoid it, unless it's gluten-free oatmeal. I have seen it in the food stores. Bread, pasta, macaroni and cheese, stuffing, unless it's made with gluten-free flour, those cookies, avoid them. Cream of wheat, avoid it. Malts, avoid it. Beers, avoid. It's been made from barley. That is damaging your gut. This is why fellas get the bear belly. The big gut in front of them that they earn with all those beers. That shows you how damaged their gut is, okay? Because they are constantly consuming gluten. Gluten will wreak havoc on your gut. So you want to avoid that. You want to avoid soy and soy products. You want to avoid corn because they are heavily genetically modified throughout the Western Hemisphere. And genetically modified foods lead to inflammation in the body. It's not, your body can't break it down. It damages your gut. You want to avoid fried foods. Anything fried in oil. Because that damages your body. It causes an inflammatory response. You want to avoid all oils in a bottle. Because the oil is oxidized by means of sitting in that bottle, and oxidized oil causes inflammation in the body. So again, it's damaging your system. All right. You want to avoid processed meats with nitrates and nitrites. Very bad, cancer causing. You want to avoid well done red meat. You want to avoid the crispy skin of a baked potato, cancer causing. You want to avoid carbonated drinks, particularly with a meal, because the bubbles in that carbonated drink neutralize the acid in your stomach, and that makes it very difficult for your stomach to do its job, because without acid, you can't digest your food properly. So those are the foods that you should be avoiding. Very important that you follow that list, because again, this is not just affecting your digestive system, but now we know it's also impacting your brain health negatively. So you want to avoid those. Now, here's another thing that you're going to be shocked to find out. And that is that blood sugar levels have a direct impact on the health of your brain. Let's go to clip number 2 with pharmacist Ben.
The second step is working with blood sugar. Again, keep in mind, this is for any chronic degenerative crisis. You work with the blood sugar system. In terms of Alzheimer's disease, even physicians now call Alzheimer's disease type 3 diabetes to highlight the relationship between what's called dysglycemia, or messed up blood sugar, and degenerative Alzheimer's disease degeneration. So working with the blood sugar system, that means zero tolerance, or as close to it, for anything that breaks down rapidly into sugar. Desserts and fruit juices and potatoes and white bread and any kind of processed cereals and breads and bagels and all the foods we love, potato chips, snack foods, all of these foods break down into sugar rapidly. Secondly, using nutrients to help support the body's ability to process sugar. So on the one hand, eliminating or reducing your intake of sugar. On the other hand, helping your body process sugar. Interestingly, the nutrients that help your body process sugar are also brain nutrients, which further highlights the relationship between the blood sugar system and the brain. So we find that zinc and niacin and thiamine and the B complex in general, and essential fatty acids, while they're also important for helping the body, helping stabilize blood sugar, helping the body process blood sugar, they also have brain health benefits on their own. So using nutrients to help support blood sugar, the Sweeties from Youngevity, chromium and vanadium, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, anything with the B complex, the Ultimate Daily, Immortalium, anything de-stress, anything that has a lot of B complex in it is going to be very important for the brain. Think of B's as your brain vitamins. Zinc is particularly important for the brain and for blood sugar. Vitamin E is also very important for the brain and for blood sugar. Alpha lipoic acid and magnesium are also very important for brain and for blood sugar. And then the aforementioned omega-3 and omega-6 fats.
Who knew? Blood sugar. An imbalanced blood sugar level makes you very susceptible to neurological degeneration. Who knew? So you really have to manage your blood sugar levels. You heard him say doctors are now even starting to call Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes, because that's how they're now understanding, that's how closely connected your blood sugar levels are to your brain health. So you, especially if you are experiencing any kind of cognitive issues, you really need to manage your blood sugar levels. Watch that. And by the way, many of the products that he's talking about, they are Youngevity products. And if you're interested in learning more about that, just send me a message on Facebook, or you can send us a text message here at the station, 828-2543, 828-2543 is the text line. And you can also WhatsApp 805-6430, 805-6430 for more information. Yeah, Quaker oats and cream of wheat have been around for centuries. Yeah. Yeah. And another thing you need to realize too is that back in the day, oats and wheat weren't genetically modified. Today they are. You would be hard pressed to find any wheat or oats product in the Western Hemisphere that has not been genetically modified. So it's not the same as what your grandparents ate. That's what people need to realize. The food that you're eating today is not the same food as what your grandparents ate. So you have to make some serious changes to you. I see Stacy Smith says, hold on. You basically saying I must throw all of my food I currently have in my house in the garbage. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Stacy, but if you're eating wheat, barley, rye, or oats, if you're eating corn, if you're eating soy, and all the other bad foods that I mentioned, all the processed meats, the deli ham, the pepperoni, the sausage, the bacon, all that stuff that has nitrates and nitrates. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but it is what it is. You are doing damage to your body. You're doing damage to your gut. And if your gut is damaged, your brain will be impacted. No question about it. If you have a damaged gut, you're going to soon have a damaged brain. So gut health is step number one when you're talking about healing degenerative diseases. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, welcome to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift. You're on the air.
God bless you. Good morning, Michelle. How are you doing today?
Great. How are you?
All right, JT calling in.
Hey, JT.
Interesting show you have today. Reason being, I want to reflect something your last text, I think Stacy said. So that means everything you're buying these days for people who live on a very tight budget. Just about everything you're buying in the store, you got to throw away then, because, I mean, hardly anything is healthy anymore based on what you're sharing with us today.
Well, here's the thing. You have to just make some changes, make a decision that you're going to make some changes. Because people say, oh, it's expensive to eat these healthy things, right? But it's not as expensive as Alzheimer's treatment or Parkinson's treatment or cancer or diabetes. It's
you either spend the money up front or you spend the money at the back end.
I'd rather spend a little bit extra to buy gluten-free flour.
Right.
I still enjoy the foods that I love. I still make my guava duff because guava duff is my kryptonite, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
I still make my guava duff with my gluten-free flour. It's more expensive than regular flour by far.
Right. Right. Okay.
But I'm not waking up in the middle of the morning anymore with pain, doubled over from pain in my abdomen, which used to happen to me. That's how badly my gut was really damaged.
So you're saying?
Go ahead.
No, so you're saying, so since you changed the type of flour that you use, that you consume, those pains or symptoms that you had disappeared?
Gone. And not only did my digestive, now I changed the flour.
Mm-hmm.
I also started taking Microbiome, which is a product by Longevity that actively heals your gut.
Mm-hmm.
So I came off of the gluten altogether.
Mm-hmm.
I started taking the Microbiome to heal my gut. Not only did my digestive issues go away, I also lost weight. Prior to doing this, I knew that I should have been off of gluten, but I was still eating it. You go around your family and your friends, and they got all this stuff, and you indulge.
Right.
But during the first of the long lockdowns in March, I decided at that time, you know what? This is an opportunity for you to really test this thing. I'm not going to eat any more gluten, and I'm going to start healing my gut. And Longevity had just come out with Microbiome at that time. And Microbiome is a product that has probiotics, prebiotics, postbiotics. It also has enzymes. I mean, it is a power-packed product for healing the gut. So I cut out the gluten. I bought the expensive, if you want to call it that, gluten-free flour. I started taking the Microbiome. Stopped exercising because the gyms were closed.
And you still lost weight.
And I went from a size 10 to a size 6.
And I've heard that with women, that's a big difference. Because
That's a
us
big
men don't
difference.
appreciate, us
Big
men don't
difference.
appreciate those sizes. But my female friends keep telling me that.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
people see me now. I just went to a party over the weekend, and people are like, "Oh my God, I can't! Oh my, what are you doing, Michelle? Oh my God!" Because I had put on so much weight after being exposed to toxic mold. I gained a ton of weight.
Wow. Yeah. I remember, yeah.
So yeah, and so now I'm back down to the size I was in my 20s.
So how long did it take you from when you changed your habit from back to the gluten free?
Mm-hmm.
How long did it take you? A week, 2 weeks before you started to see any definite positive changes? How long?
I would say, and this varies from person to person because it depends on how badly damaged your gut is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say I started to feel better in about a week. I started to
Right.
notice that I was feeling a bit better. And as I
Right.
went on and on and on, it got better and better and better.
Right.
To the point, I often play clips from Dr. Peter Glidden, and he always talks about the gluten-free challenge. He challenges people
Mhm.
to go gluten-free for 1 month. Just cut gluten out of your diet completely, gluten-free, right? And
Right.
then after that 1 month,
Monitor the difference.
take
of
one
course.
day
Mhm.
where you eat gluten like it going out of style. Breakfast, lunch, and knock yourself out. Eat the donuts and the pastries and the bread, and kill yourself eating the gluten that day.
And your body would rebel like crazy. Is
Your
that the point?
body will put a beating on you.
Wow. While growing up, I was born in '63, and my grandparents, they were farmers. My grandmother and grandfather on my mom's side were farmers, and my granddad was a fisherman.
Mm-hmm.
So we grew up in the farm, basically. I used to tell people that, when we were our grandparents in the summertime, we used to jump out of their back door right into the farm.
Mm-hmm.
And my point in saying all of that is we used to eat so healthy back then
Mm-hmm.
that I honestly cannot remember us ever going to the doctor for any of these lifestyle problems like diabetes and high blood pressure and all of those things because we ate fresh
the
food
land,
out of the
yeah.
ground.
From the land. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All of the plums and the jujus and the
Mhm.
tamarinds and the almonds and the mama sapotis and the mammies and all of them things.
Yep.
We used to eat them religiously, and we never knew, of course, informationally the benefits, but naturally there were benefits to the body.
And a lot of those foods you were eating were superfoods. Listen,
Yeah, exactly.
Doc Wallach calls Alzheimer's a physician-created disease.
Oh wow.
And we're going to learn more about why in a minute.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Well, let me wrap up by saying this then. For persons who live on a tight budget, Michelle, and I must admit I'm one of them,
Mm-hmm.
what can one really effectively and affordably do
Let me tell you what I
to
do.
be able?
Let me tell you what I do. I invest in the expensive stuff like the flour, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's way more expensive than regular flour. Okay.
Right.
I buy that flour. But when it comes to the only things I buy in the food store right now are non-perishables.
Right.
Rice, and I use brown rice, by the way. Rice,
Right.
my gluten-free flour. I might get some cans of tuna fish, whatever. What my non-perishables I buy from the food store. But
Right.
when it comes to my produce, no, I go to the farmers market.
Market. Got it.
Gladstone
Got it.
Road Farmers Market.
I was just about to say, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You will find produce locally grown,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Which are the best ones around, by the way.
Pennies on the dollar of what you would have to pay for the same thing in the food store.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
Pennies on the dollar.
So, what kind of
support
bread?
your local farmers.
What kind of baked breads would you say is gluten-free, Michelle, if any? Do you know?
You
Of
have
any?
to use gluten-free flour. Okay.
I mean, the bakery type of a thing. Do
But
you know
most
of
of
any?
them, if you have to ask them, is this gluten? Did you use gluten-free flour? If they didn't, then no.
Okay.
You can make bread with gluten-free flour. Another
Mhm.
bread that you can buy in the food store is Ezekiel bread. I personally don't like the taste of it, but other people do. Ezekiel bread is gluten-free, but you can buy gluten-free flour. There's some restaurants here that are healthy restaurants, health food restaurants. And when I go there, I ask them if I'm getting like a veggie burger. I say, please use gluten-free bread. And if they tell me they don't have gluten-free bread, I say thanks and I walk back out. It's
Right.
not worth me being bent over 3 o'clock in the morning from pain. Nothing
Understood.
tastes as good as I feel right now.
And I would say that aloes, a lot of Bahamians need to discover aloes, Michelle. I
Yeah,
know you had a
aloes is
guest
good.
when you
Aloes
had
is
a, yeah. Aloes is one of the best blood purifying or body purifying food plants out there in existence.
And try to get the fresh aloe, not the aloe in the bottle. The fresh
Oh,
aloe.
I get it raw and I eat it raw.
Yeah. No, aloe is pretty good for you.
As a matter of fact, my belly is feeling so good right now because I had a nice good piece this morning. I feel real good.
Aloe
I'm
is
hungry
good.
and I'm hungry, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, aloe is good. Aloe is good.
Okay,
anything,
well-
anything that grows from God's earth without being genetically modified.
Exactly. And without any chemicals and stuff in and
Yes.
stuff.
It's very important that you go organic to avoid the
Yeah,
chemicals.
indeed.
Listen, JD,
Again,
thanks for calling. I got to take a
yeah.
break, but thank you so
Sure
much for
enough,
calling in.
You're welcome.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to continue to talk about brain health. And you are going to be surprised that some more information is coming your way. Stay with us. This is Wellness Wednesday, GPS Global Paradigm Shift.
Horton's Car Rental and Auto Sales, Robinson Road and 5th Street, The Grove, is your premium choice for affordable transportation. We have reliable cars at unbelievable prices. Ask about our daily rates, starting at $50, and our weekly rates, starting as low as $180. Call us at 437-4017 or 676-3977. Horton's Car Rental, your premium choice for affordable transportation.
At Lee Air, safety is our #1 priority. Flying since 1996, we offer scheduled flights into Fresh Creek and Mangrove Key Andros and Great Harbor Key, Berry Island, twice daily, 7 days a week. Affordable charter services are also available to anywhere in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. Lee Air Charter Services. Call 225-3267, 702-7127, or 322-1317 for reservations. At the Gladstone Road Farmers Market, we provide you with the freshest produce, eggs, meat, and more. But what you don't see makes a difference too, like the care our farmers put into growing and raising that food for your family, the fewer miles that food travels from the farm to your plate, and the dollars you are keeping in our local community. Our open-air market is every Friday and Saturday. Come visit us, and be sure to look for the GPS-endorsed flyer. COVID-19 has affected all of us, but it won't stop us from serving you with a smile, even under the mask. Gladstone Road Farmers Market, home of fresh. For all your building needs, it's Carib Construction and Project Management on Gladstone Road. We build it all: schools, homes, hotels, and more, including structures requiring a Phase 3 electrical contractor. We also provide project management services. The first step towards your dream building begins at Carib Construction and Project Management. Call us at 376-1556 or 341-4466.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Youngevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs. for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
And welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Glory 93.9 FM. I am your host, Michelle Malcolm. Today is Wellness Wednesday, and we are talking brain health today. How to avoid neurological disorders, or if you have them, how to reverse them, how to give your body the support that it needs to be able to heal from these degenerative diseases. And so we heard in the first portion of the show that the first two steps towards brain health are step number one, healing your gut. Healing your gut as the first step towards brain health. And step number two, balancing your blood sugar. Making sure that you have a balanced blood sugar is extremely important towards healing your brain. So step number three is equally as important. And this you have to do to ensure that your brain remains healthy. And step number three is all about breathing. Let's go to the clip number three, so he can explain what I'm talking about.
Then the third step is oxygenation. There is a major relationship between low blood oxygen and dementia. There's a major relationship between low blood oxygen and all degenerative health crises. There's a major relationship between low blood oxygen and inflammation. So working on deep breathing techniques, sitting on the couch, and remember, we always say this, 15 seconds in through the nose, slowly, 15 seconds out through the nose, slowly, going into the bottom of your belly when you're doing your breathing, all the way to the bottom of your feet if you can, and then back up again. And you don't want to take any gap, you don't want to take any no spaces between your in-breath and your out-breath. So it's like a circular breathing kind of thing, sort of like a baby breathes. Babies don't take gaps between their breaths. You just go inhale and then exhale. Inhale and exhale slowly is very important. And then a well-rounded nutritional supplement program, the Healthy Start Pack, that goes without saying. Moving the body is extremely important. There's actually lymphatic, this is something that recently got discovered. There's actually lymphatic circulation in your brain. The lymphatic system drains toxins. The lymphatic system delivers nutrients, particularly fatty nutrients, and the brain is a fatty organ. So moving your body around is absolutely critical for all chronic degenerative diseases, but especially for brain diseases. Circulating the oxygen, circulating the lymphatic system in the brain, very important. So moving your body around, you don't have to do a lot. A brisk walk up and down the stairs, a rebounder for 30 seconds or 60 seconds, a mini trampoline. Even an inversion machine or inversion device where you hang upside down, that can improve circulation to the brain.
Okay, so deep breathing is important. Getting oxygen into your system is important. Exercise, physical movement is very important to brain health. People who exercise regularly, studies have shown, have a lower risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. Exercise improves blood flow and memory, and it stimulates chemical charges in the brain that enhance learning, mood, and thinking. So there is a connection between being fit and being smart. So you have to move your body as much as you can. You say, Michelle, I can't afford to go to the gym. Walk around your house a couple times. You could get a gallon bottle of water and use that as a weight. There are many, many things that you could do right around your home. And I preach to the choir right now because I have not been exercising as much as let me be honest, I've been exercising. And so, yeah, I'm preaching to the choir right now. But yeah, moving your body is extremely important to brain health. Physical exercise is very, very important. Also important, we talked earlier in the first segment about the foods that you should avoid. You have to understand that you, in many ways, are what you eat. And especially as you grow older, your brain is exposed to more harmful stress due to lifestyle and environmental factors, which results in a process called oxidation. And this is going back to why it's important that you deep breathe, because oxidation damages your brain cells. Okay. And this is why you need to avoid oils, because oils have been oxidized and that causes inflammation and other problems in your body. So, oxidation damages brain cells. And so, if you, I'll give you an example. If you see rust on the handlebars of a bike, or let's say you bite an apple and you leave it out, it starts to turn brown. That is a result of the damage from oxidation. And in the same way that bike handle rusts or the apple starts to turn brown, your body is damaged when it is oxidized. So you have to eat foods that are rich in antioxidants, and this can help to fend off harmful effects of oxidation on your brain. Okay, so it's very, very, very important that you understand that. And so another thing that you want to take control of is other degenerative diseases, hypertension, diabetes, obesity, depression. Be careful not to get any head trauma. Smoking, all of this increases your risk of neurological disorders like dementia. And you actually have control over this. You have control over these risks. And so we highly recommend that you take control of your health by eating well, by nutrifying your body to ensure that your body is getting the fuel that it needs to function, by moving the body, exercising, getting sufficient oxygen in your system. And this will all help to protect brain health, okay? So a healthy lifestyle is not just good for your body, but it's good for your mind as well. Very, very important that you understand that. Now, also important when it comes to brain health is you have to stimulate your brain. You ever heard the saying, if you don't use it, you lose it? Well, that is very, very true for the brain. Let's go to clip number 4 with pharmacist Ben to explain why it's important that you keep your brain active.
Another interesting strategy for Alzheimer's disease to prevent it, or to reduce its progression, or to feel better if you have Alzheimer's disease, to work on brain health, is to memorize things, or to read different types of books, learn new ideas, learn a new language, travel, stimulate the brain. The more you stimulate the brain, the more neural connections you make, the better your blood supply to the brain will be, and the less likely your chances of getting AD or any kind of dementia will be, and the better your prognosis will be if you already have Alzheimer's disease. So again, you'll see that these are the same basic things that we have to do for everything. And if there's one thing I want to be remembered for, one message I want to be remembered for when it comes to taking care of the body, is when it comes to chronic degenerative diseases, the strategies for reversal or prevention or slowing down, the progression of them are all the same, and it doesn't matter where the deterioration or the degeneration occurs.
That's a very important point for you to remember, because Parkinson's, dementia, Alzheimer's, high blood pressure, diabetes, kidney, all of it boils down to being a degeneration problem. Get that, people. If nothing else you get from this show, you need to understand that. All it is your body degenerating. And so as opposed to focusing specifically only on that area, you need to fix the degeneration problem. And once you do that, that will go a long way in terms of your body's ability to heal the issue. Okay? So very, very important for you to understand that. Now, he talked about stimulating the brain. This is so important. Mental fitness is extremely important when it comes to ensuring that you have good brain health. Either you use it or you lose it. Mental exercise is equally as critical as physical exercise in keeping your brain fit and healthy. Mental exercises may improve your brain's functioning and promote new brain cell growth, decreasing your likelihood of developing dementia. So like your muscles, you have to exercise your brain. use it or you lose it. So go do a jigsaw puzzle. Figure out take a language course or download one of those language apps to your phone and learn a new language. Do something to stimulate your brain. Because if you don't use it, you will lose it. Okay? Keep the brain active, keep the brain stimulated, and this will help to ensure that you have good neurological health. So Bertha Smith says, boy, I'm trying hard to stay healthy in any disease, especially when you have a chef in your house. Well, child, Bertha, you and that chef need to have a long conversation, and y'all got to figure out how that chef could prepare the meals that you love, but in a healthy way. Because if you don't, the Bahamas is one of the sickest nations in the world, not by accident. We ate ourselves into that. We worked for that. That didn't just happen to us. We're not unlucky. We're undisciplined. We're eating foods that we know we should not be eating, and in some cases, we don't know no better. But all of the gluten, the bread, the pasta, the white bread, all of the processed meats, the corned beef, the deli cuts, salami and pastrami and spam and whatever, all that processed stuff that you're eating is literally slowly killing you. The oils, the fried food, everything fried. We'd fry water if we could. That's killing you. We have worked very, very hard to attain the level of sickness that this country has. We worked for that. You have to get to the point where you determine, I'm drawing the line right here. Because oftentimes what y'all call genetics, it's not genetics, it's generations of bad habits. So your grandmother ate this way, and your mother ate that way, and now you eating that way, and now you're teaching your children to eat that way. It's generations of bad habits, not genetics, that is leading to these diseases that we're facing. So you have to make a conscious decision that it ends with you. Draw the line in the sand. Do something different. Otherwise, you can expect to be suffering from a degenerative disease. It's as simple as that. Some people I talk to about this, child, Michelle, I can't give up my this, I can't give up my that. Well, if you like it, let it kill you. But know it's killing you. Know that as you continue to put that thing in your mouth, knowing better, you are killing yourself. The only difference between you and the person who puts a noose around their neck is that they did it quicker. You're slowly committing suicide. And so you got to stop. There's no, I can eat a little bit of gluten every now and again because a little bit ain't going to hurt me. Yeah, it will. You can't be a little bit pregnant. Either you're pregnant or you ain't. You have to completely cut it out of your diet. Or face the consequences of consuming it. Nothing tastes as good as I feel right now. I will not go back to what I was. In terms of my gut issues, I had it bad. So, again, today we're talking about brain health. And the key takeaway from this conversation thus far is understanding that brain disorder that you have is simply a degenerative problem. And if you fix the problem of degeneration, then you fix the problem with that particular symptom, that particular condition. That's, if nothing else, I want you to understand that. Okay? Now, is being on your phone ready all day works for the brain? What is, I'm trying to read something that Bertha Smith has typed. I'm not sure. I guess you're asking if being on your phone all day is bad. Listen, the phone emits EMF, electronic magnetic field, sort of radiation signals. What I do, Longevity has an EMF patch that it sells that you can put on your phone to minimize that. Because if you don't, you're exposing yourself constantly to that radiation. I often get a lot of people who are having sleep problems in my consultation services. And one of the first things I ask them, do you by any chance charge your cell phone in the same room where you sleep? And 9 times out of 10, the answer is yes. And I say to them, stop that immediately. Charge your phone in a completely different room, not further away from you in the same room, in a completely different room. Why? Because the levels of radiation that are being emitted from that phone are so high when it is charging that it will disrupt your sleep patterns. There was actually a experiment done a couple of years ago by some high school students who realized that they were all having a problem sleeping. And they figured it out that it probably had something to do with the phone because they were late on the phone texting at night, or someone would sleep with it by their pillow or right next to them. And so they did this experiment where they got 2 plants, for all intents and purposes, 2 identical plants. And they put one in a room where they had a cell phone and one in a room where they didn't. Same amount of exposure to the sun, same amount of watering every day. All the other conditions were the same. The only difference was one was in a room where there was a cell phone. Within 4 days, the plant that was exposed to the cell phone was dead, while the other plant thrived. Same conditions otherwise. So you have to be really careful with those cell phones. Like I say, Longevity has an EMF patch that's sold by one of the companies in one of the divisions. I bought one and I put it on my cell phone. I want to get another one, maybe a bigger one or 2 to use on my laptop, because you really have to consider all of that. And that can affect your brain. All right, we're going to take a break. Now, we're going to get a little controversial on the other side of this break because we're going to be talking about statin drugs and how statin drugs have contributed to this tsunami of Alzheimer's and other neurological disorders. You don't want to miss it. Stay with us. GPS Global Paradigm Shift will be back after this.
Bishop Denzel Rolle, General Superintendent and the Executive Council of the Highway Church of God, Bahamas, invites you to attend its 56th Annual General Convention under the theme, Arise, A Call to Duty. Convening February 17th through 21st, 6:30 p.m. nightly at Southland Church of God, Soldier Road. Speakers include Bishop Denzel Rolle, Bishop Carvin Bain, Pastor Rakino Monker, Bishop Robert McPhee, and Bishop Eric Josie. There will also be a special midday oil and water service on Thursday, the 18th at 12 p.m. with Apostle Raymond Wells. That's the Highway Church of God, Bahamas' General Convention, February 17th through 21st, 6:30 p.m. nightly at the Southland Church of God. It's time to arise.
Looking for an extraordinary junior high school with caring, qualified staff and affordable tuition? Then come visit us at Elite School of Excellence, an affiliate of First Step Academy. ABECA focused and Ministry of Education approved, we foster discipline, integrity, and wisdom while molding our students for success. Call us at 341-8846 or stop by First Step Academy schools on Fire Trail and Soldi Roads for more information. Escape from the city life to Bacon Air Beach Resort in Pirateswell, Mayaguana. Relax in one of 16 air-conditioned rooms just steps away from the ocean. Enjoy scrumptious dishes in our waterfront dining room. Sip on a tropical cocktail, or if you must, stay connected with wireless internet. Nestled on one of the most beautiful beaches in the Bahamas, Bacon Air Beach Resort offers a unique vacation experience. For reservations, call 339-3726 or 463-0182.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
And we are back. Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Glory 93.9 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm. It's a Wellness Wednesday. And today we are talking brain health, how to protect your brain, how to ensure that you aren't falling victim to one of the many degenerative brain disorders that are plaguing so many of us. And so that's what we're talking about today. So I'm going to read a couple of our Facebook comments. Alex says, if it ain't healthy, I'm not eating it. Good for you, Alex. And Laura Roll says, powerful information. Thank you, lady. Well, thank you for being here. Please like and share the show. Let everybody know that GPS is on the air, especially if you know anybody who is battling with a neurological disorder. Like and share the show. If you want to call in, the number is 828-3543. 828-3543 is the number to call. And our text line is 828-2543, 828-2543. You can also send a WhatsApp message to 805-6430, 805-6430. Now, before I forget, what I'm going to do is, after the show is done, I am going to post a link on my official Facebook page, the Michelle Malcolm official Facebook page where the show is streaming, to a health evaluation. Now, here's how the health evaluation works. We believe, again, we were trained in holistic health under the protocols of Dr. Joel Wallach, who has taught us that there, of the 900 odd diseases out there, that they all fall into one of 4 categories. So you've got the hard tissue category, which you show symptoms in all the hard tissues of your body. You got the soft tissue category, which is, I guess, what we're talking about today, because your soft tissue includes your brain, your heart, your lungs, your eyes, your organs, your skin. Then you've got the digestive disorders, and you've got the blood sugar imbalances. So all of the diseases fall into one of those 4 categories, right? So what our health evaluation does is, once you take the evaluation, you answer the questions based on your symptoms. We then look at the numbers that you receive, your results, and that points us in a direction as to what area of deficiency your body may be dealing with. So if your numbers are pretty high in the hard tissue category, then I know you're dealing with a deficiency of calcium, magnesium, glucosamine, chondroitin, etc. We believe that everything starts with the 90 nutrients, 90 essential nutrients that every vertebrate needs. So you need 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids. That's what we believe. And then on top of that, depending on your results, we make other recommendations. So if you get a deficiency, if your numbers come up high in the blood sugar category, for instance, then we know that you have a deficiency of chromium and vanadium. And so we put you on a product in addition to the 90 that's going to address that deficiency. All right. So I'm going to post a link to the health evaluation on my official Facebook page. If you are interested in learning what your health score is, or if you are already battling a chronic degenerative disease, like a brain disease, like a Parkinson's or an Alzheimer's, or high blood pressure or diabetes or arthritis, whatever it is, I encourage you to take that health evaluation. Ignore the computer-generated results, because because what's going to happen is the computer is going to look at your numbers and then just make some recommendations. But we say ignore those, because it's best if you speak to a human being in a one-on-one consultation to determine what's really going on in your body. Because sometimes, like I find sometimes that I get clients and their numbers are high in all 4 categories. And that tells me, okay, something else is going on here. Either they have a severe gluten deficiency, which could cause that. And oftentimes what I discover is that there's a toxin that is leading to their numbers being very high across the board. If you're exposed to mold, for instance, that is going to affect your neurological system and everything else in your body. Mold actually will cause you to feel like you're losing your mind. If you're exposed to mold, you could start having some severe short-term memory issues, confusion. It's crazy what being exposed to mold will do to your brain, okay? So about right after the show, I'll post it there. And if you're interested, you can go there and you can conduct that health evaluation, and then we'll help you to figure out what's going on in your body. All right, so prior to the break, I promised you we were going to get a little controversial now. Dr. Wallach calls Alzheimer's a physician-created disease. Why is that? Y'all ever notice that many years ago, Alzheimer's was not pretty much a thing? And now it's like crazy how many people are suffering from Alzheimer's. What does this have to do with statin drugs? Well, let me explain something. Your brain, and I would have said this on this show before, but it bears repeating. Your brain, 75% of your brain is a substance called myelin, M-Y-E-L-I-N, myelin. Myelin is the white matter of your brain that coats the system that of electrical signals that your brain sends out so your body knows what to do. Myelin is the white matter that coats that. Myelin is 75% of your brain weight is from myelin. Okay, so myelin is extremely important. Myelin health is extremely important. Now get this. Myelin is 90% cholesterol. 90% cholesterol is what makes up myelin. Okay? Now, when you go to the doctor and the doctor says your cholesterol levels are high, as opposed to trying to figure out what causes your cholesterol and triglycerides to be high, which we know is as a result of a blood sugar imbalance. Going back to this whole system again, remember, it's a whole system. What do? They prescribe a statin drug. They say, I'm going to put you on this drug to bring down your cholesterol. Now, if your brain, 75% of your brain, which is the myelin, is 90% cholesterol, what do you think happens to your brain when you ingest that statin drug and that starts to lower cholesterol levels throughout your body, including your brain? Because it ain't like it have a GPS system attached to it. So it ain't like you take this statin drug and it says, okay, we're going to lower cholesterol everywhere except the brain. We're not going to go there. No. That does its job in lowering your cholesterol everywhere, including the brain. So oftentimes when I have a client and they tell me, oh, my mother or my father, or, I'm having these memory issues or whatever, one of the first things I ask them is, are you now or have you recently been taking statin drugs? And oftentimes the answer is yes. I'm going to just go to the clip. This is, again, pharmacist Ben talking about the relationship between statin drugs and neurological disorders.
Statin drugs suppress cholesterol. Cholesterol is the body's quintessential building substance. This is so important to recognize because we hear about LDL and HDL and all these different types of cholesterol. They're not cholesterol. HDL and LDL are carriers of cholesterol. They're like little bubbles. Cholesterol is a fatty substance and it doesn't move around through the fluids of the body as effectively, so the body will surround it with a lipoprotein. A lipoprotein is like a fat protein bubble. lipofat, protein, protein, and this fat protein bubble is a carrying case for cholesterol among other substances. So when they talk about HDL and LDL and the different particles, they're not talking about cholesterol, they're talking about carriers that contain cholesterol. Cholesterol itself is just cholesterol. There's not different types of cholesterol. There's not HDL cholesterol and LDL cholesterol. There's just cholesterol. Cholesterol is a molecule, just like there's just water, just like there's just air, just like there's just one type of chemical. Air is a complex, but there's just oxygen, just like there's just water, just like there's just certain chemicals in nature and molecules in the body. Cholesterol is cholesterol is cholesterol. And it is the body's quintessential building substance. That means for any growth or any repair or any kind of building processes, it's a vital molecule. Growth and repair and regeneration will suffer to the degree that you're not making cholesterol. And if you take a statin drug, you're actually poisoning your cholesterol manufacturing machinery. So the implications for the brain are tremendous. And this is why one of the problems, one of the classic side effects of statin drugs, statin drug usage, is forgetfulness, memory problems, thinking problems, because the brain depends on cholesterol. Now, as an aside, if you truly want to lower your cholesterol levels, the main reason, as we've probably talked about before, that cholesterol levels go up is because we've tricked the body into thinking it is supposed to be building. And the main way that we've tricked the body into thinking it's supposed to be building, even though we're not building, even though we're not in the gym, even though we're not repairing, even though we're not exercising, even though we're not anabolic, that means building, the main way that we trick the body into thinking it should be building without building is sugar. Sugar sends the body messages that it should be building, and when we're not building, cholesterol levels build up. Cholesterol levels get higher, so reducing your sugar is the most important strategy. Now, I forgot to say one last thing about Alzheimer's disease. I want to mention one more thing. Good fats are extremely important for brain health. There's a lot of very interesting literature about coconut oil and Alzheimer's disease, using coconut oil for Alzheimer's disease. So good fats, the brain is a fatty organ. Good fats are extremely important. In fact, omega-3 fats are especially important for brain health as well as for vision health too. Omega-3 fats are typically found in the nervous system, not just the brain and the eyes, but the entire nervous system. So omega-3 fats are your nervous system brain essential fatty acids. Omega-6s are for the rest of the body, so omega-3 fats in particular can be helpful.
Okay, so we get back to that blood sugar thing again. If you have elevated cholesterol and triglycerides, it's because you have a blood sugar imbalance. Okay? So if you go to your doctor and they say, oh, I want to give you this cholesterol-lowering medication, and they completely ignore your blood sugar, don't walk out of there, run. Because that is elevated because of a blood sugar imbalance. Now, here's the thing. You just heard pharmacist Ben, and he explained very well, I thought, the role of cholesterol in the body. Your body makes cholesterol for a reason. It's what it's used to build. It's what it's used to help repair. So let's say that there's a fire, right? You have a house on fire. What do? You call the fire engine, correct? You call the fire department, you say, there's a house on fire, you'll need to come put this fire out. So they fill up the truck with water. All the firemen jump on the truck. They speed to the place where this house is on fire, and then they start spraying it with water to put the fire out. Well, cholesterol is like the firefighters. Cholesterol goes to a place where there is damage to try to help to rebuild or fix the damage, repair the damage that's been done to the body. Okay? That's what cholesterol does. It builds. Right? So what happens when you go to the MD and they say your cholesterol level is high, we got to put you on a statin drug? In essence, what they're doing is they're blaming the firefighters for the fire that they came to put out. I want you to understand that analogy. Your house on fire. You call the fire department to say, come put out the fire. They rush to the scene. They put out the fire, and then you blame them for the fire. That is really what's going on when you go to your MD and they prescribe a statin drug to lower cholesterol, as opposed to understanding the reason the cholesterol is high to begin with. Either you have a blood sugar imbalance or you have some damage in your body that the cholesterol is trying to repair. So doesn't it make sense to, one, balance out your blood sugar, and two, to fix the damage in the body or stop doing the damage to the body? They would have you believe that it's the high cholesterol that causes clogging of the arteries. That the problem is if the arteries are damaged and if you have inflammation in the body, when the cholesterol rushes to the scene to fix the problem, if there's inflammation in the body, there's constricting of the arteries. So you've got a couple of problems. The arteries are damaged because of whatever you've been doing to your body. The cholesterol rushes there to fix the problem, but it can't flow properly because of inflammation in the body, which is constricting the arteries. But what do? They blame the firefighters who came to put out the fire. So here's how we fix this problem. Let's kill all the firefighters. You see how ludicrous that sounds? But that's exactly what is happening when they go to the statin drug. And now you know that those statin drugs are impacting your cognitive health, your cognitive stability. It's causing you a neurological problem. One of the things that Dr. Wallach recommends, and you're going to hear this from him in the next segment of the show. I'm going to play a clip in the next segment of the show. I'm wondering if I should do that now. But anyway, one of the things that he recommends is that you have to sort of replenish all of the damage that you would have done to the myelin, to your brain, by taking statin drugs. You have to sort of put that back in there. So he often recommends, and we're going to get into that in the next segment because I'm trying to pace the show. But he recommends a lot of eggs, for instance. Remember when they used to tell you that eggs were bad? Oh, you don't want to eat, you only want to eat egg whites. Pure ignorance. Now they realize that eggs are not bad for you. You can eat the whole egg. It's actually good for you. Organic eggs, I'm talking. Okay, not stuff from chickens that were, forced to grow quickly. No, I'm talking about free-range chicken, not pumped up with antibiotics and growth hormones, but free-range chicken laying eggs like they're supposed to. Organic eggs are actually very good for the brain. You have to understand that when it comes to brain health, problems like Alzheimer's, dementia, all those neurological diseases are a result of an essential fats and cholesterol deficiency. Yes, you can have a cholesterol deficiency. If you are not getting, if you're lowering the cholesterol level in your body and you're not getting sufficient essential fats, omega-3, 6, and 9, you're going to have some cognitive problems. You're going to end up with some neurological challenges. So understand that if you have high cholesterol, it is a result of a blood sugar imbalance. Do not fool with them statin drugs. Try to avoid them as much as possible. Balance out your blood sugar. Stop doing damage to your body, which is causing the cholesterol to have to go to these various places in your body to fix the damage. Right? And you will be less likely to suffer from a neurological disorder. You need fats in your system. You need, if you try to cut fat completely out of your diet, you'll make yourself sick. But you need healthy fats. Omega-3, 6, and 9. And cholesterol is what gives you a healthy brain. If you lower the cholesterol levels in your brain too low, Alzheimer's, dementia, etc. And Alzheimer's is just one of 4 dementias. There are other kinds of dementias as well. There's something called vascular dementia, where you're having clogging of the arteries, and you can't get, your brain is being starved of oxygen and all the other good stuff that it needs that's supposed to get through your arteries, and so it starves the brain. And vascular dementia, I believe they said, is the most common form of dementia. But that's totally different from Alzheimer's. But again, it all goes back to it being a degenerative condition. So you got to fix the degeneration problem. Okay? All right, let's go to a couple of your comments. Bertha Smith says, laugh out loud. I hear you. Run. Yeah, don't walk out there, child. Run. Run. Stacy says, Lady Malcolm, you're a very intelligent woman, well-versed in virtually everything. No, I wouldn't say that. I've been trained in nutrition. I took a course that I'm trained in therapeutic nutrition. And now I'm a certified health coach. So if I'm speaking about this, it's because I've actually been trained in it. I just wake up with this knowledge. I had to go study this. Bertha again says, thank you for the Wednesday wellness show. I'm learning how to stay healthy. Well, that's the whole idea. Okay, and we have a question from Bertha. Is drinking the fresh coconut water from your tree often good for the body? Don't let it get chill. Man, I go on to town. Yeah, coconut water is very healthy for you. Very, very healthy for you. Okay. Anything natural, man. Straight from the earth as God designed it, not genetically modified, organic, so it's not loaded with pesticides and herbicides. Because you all need to understand, when we say organic, it doesn't mean that the food that you're eating has the amount of nutrients that your body needs. It just means that it does not have poisons like pesticides and herbicides. So it's better for you in that way. But don't think that if you're eating organic, it means that you're getting all the nutrients that your body needs. It is physically impossible for you to get all of the nutrients that your body needs through food alone, even if you're eating organic. And remember, you need the 90 nutrients, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids every single day in order to have optimal health. That's the gasoline for your car. That's what you need every day. Okay? So we're going to take another quick break. And then when we come back on the other side, we're going to hear from Doc Wallach in terms of what he recommends if you have already been diagnosed with a degenerative brain disease. There is something you can do. We're going to talk about that on the other side of the break. Stay with us. This is GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Glory 93.9 FM.
Best dress, hats off, looking like I walked out of catalog. Everybody wanna know where I got it from. Catwalk, 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 boutique, where we make fashion statements. Catwalk, boutique, where we make fashion statements.
For the latest styles in women's clothing and accessories, visit Catwalk Boutique on Robinson Road East at the Hellron Plaza. At Catwalk Boutique, we make fashion statements.
Want to look your best and feel even better? Visit J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa for the ultimate beauty, body, and anti-aging treatments, offering custom colors, haircuts, vegan anti-freeze treatments, silk blowouts, natural and acrylic nails, unisex pedicures, facials, and massages, all waxing services, and microcurrent therapies for anti-aging and body sculpting. J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madeira Street, telephone 326-7863. At the Gladstone Road Farmers Market, we provide you with the freshest produce, eggs, meat, and more. But what you don't see makes a difference too, like the care our farmers put into growing and raising that food for your family, the fewer miles that food travels from the farm to your plate, and the dollars you are keeping in our local community. Our open-air market is every Friday and Saturday. Come visit us, and be sure to look for the GPS-endorsed flyer. COVID-19 has affected all of us, but it won't stop us from serving you with a smile, even under the mask. Gadsden Road Farmers Market, home of fresh.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
And welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Glory 93.9 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm. It's a Wellness Wednesday, and today we are talking about brain health and what you need to do to protect your brain, protect your neurological system so that you can live a long, healthy, cognitive life and be aware. You know, I want y'all to understand something, people. Brain diseases is not a normal part of aging. Dementia is not a normal part of aging. Alzheimer's is not a normal part of aging. Parkinson's, any of those degenerative diseases, becoming forgetful, that is not a normal part of aging. We are so used to being sick that we think it's normal. I repeat, that is not a normal part of aging. Y'all would have heard Dr. Wallach on my show last week. Dr. Wallach is 82 years old. Or should I say 82 years young? Because he's in better shape than people half his age, a quarter of his age in some cases. And it's not a matter of bad luck either. Oh, I just, my family, we just have, and it's not genetics. You work for that condition. You earn that. Okay? So understand that it is not inevitable that you, because you're getting older, start to suffer from these things. No. Now, you may say, boy, Michelle, I wish I had heard this message 10 years ago. Because right now, my mother or my father or I'm having problems with my memory or whatever. Is there anything we can do? Good news. The answer is yes. There is something you can do. I'm going to first play this clip from Doc Wallach. Doc Wallach, again, was a guest on my show on last week's Wellness Wednesday. If you missed it, go watch it on Facebook, y'all. The man just blew my mind with the information he brought forward. This is a case that he dealt with some years ago, true story, of a gentleman who was suffering with degeneration of the brain. I'm not going to say anything more. I'm going to let him tell his story himself. Go ahead to clip number 4.
To help people with these types of diseases, I have them take the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. I have them eat 6 eggs twice a day per 100 pounds of body weight, get rid of all the bad things, fried foods, processed meats, oils, and glutens. And we take people, and I can tell you, if I may, a kind of a 3-minute story about a guy who was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, and the doctors put him on the medication for Alzheimer's disease. 3 years later, he goes into a coma. He was in a deepening and deepening and deepening coma for 8 years until there was not much left of his brain. And the doctors in the nursing home told the sister, look, there's your brother Ray McGregor is the guy's name. There's not much we can do for him now. Do you really want to keep him going here with IVs and G-tubes, or should we just pull the plug and it'll be the end? She said, well, give me 6 months. So she calls me, tells me the situation, And I said, well, we can give it a try here. If we do what they say, your brother Ray will die in a couple of days. But if you do what I say, he's got a high probability of doing well. So, well, let's do what you say. So, okay, so Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, 6 eggs twice a day for 100 pounds of body weight, and divide the dose of all the supplement program and the eggs and everything into 4 quarter doses. Give it to them through the G-tube, and call me every 2 weeks. Well, on the 5th day, she calls me. She's crying. She says, she couldn't compose herself. I said, well, tell me about your brother Ray. Why are you crying? Is he okay? And she says, well, I went into his room this morning, and he wasn't in his room. I was going to give him to start his 5th day in a program. He's not in his room anymore. His suitcases, his clothes are gone. All his personal toiletries are gone. There's somebody else in his bed with a different chart, different person. So I go to the front desk and I say, where's my brother Ray? And the girl's front desk says, Ray? She says, yeah, Ray McGregor, my brother. She's, oh, that Ray. Well, he got up this morning. He didn't realize he'd been in a coma for 8 years. He thought he'd only been asleep one day. He shaved, got dressed in a 3-piece suit, went back to work at the bank. If you want to find him, he's at the bank right now. A true story.
After 5 days. Why did that work? Because what, in essence, they did was that concoction that Doc gave them rebuilt the brain. It rebuilt all of the damage that had been done from all of the statin drugs, and it rebuilt the brain. Let me explain something to y'all in case y'all didn't realize this yet. We were created by the ultimate manufacturer. Our bodies are incredibly intelligent machines created by the ultimate manufacturer. And one of the things that manufacturer did is put an intelligence within our bodies that allows them to rebuild, to repair, to regenerate. That goes for every single organ of your body. You remember back in the day when they used to say the brain is the one thing that can't regenerate. Once your brain is damaged, that's it. They tell us plenty of things back in the day that they now realize were absolute foolishness. You are able to regenerate the brain. You are able to rebuild the damage that was done to your brain. Okay? When it comes to these degenerative diseases. How do you do that? Longevity has a system called a Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. Okay? So we put you on that Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. We give you 6 to 12 eggs a day per 100 pounds of body weight. You're trying to get that cholesterol level up in the body. You're trying to put more cholesterol in the body to go to the brain to try to rebuild all of the stuff that has degenerated. I have a local client whose mother was having cognitive issues, and he heard me do a health talk on this, and he called me up and he says, I need some help with my mother. I said, okay. So we did the health evaluation for her. We determined this is what she needed. I went and I did some research as to what Dr. Wallach expected to, what he recommends that you do to rebuild, the brain. And so I recommended what he recommended. But before her products even arrived, I said, what you can do, he says, well, we can get her to drink a smoothie. I said, okay, start dumping some eggs in her smoothie. Just, 4, 8 eggs a day, depending on her weight, her body weight, 6 to 12, depending on body weight. I says, and until her products arrive, you start doing that. And even that alone will help her. And then once the products arrive, you get her on the products, and I promise you will see a huge difference. He calls me up after about a week, maybe, while he's waiting for his products to arrive. And he says, Ms. Malcolm, I'm already starting to see a difference in my mother. She's starting to hold conversation again. This is just from the eggs. That's before we even got her on the nutrition. Just from the eggs. People, you have to know that the body was designed to repair itself. That's how God designed these incredible bodies that we live in. You get a little cut on your hand, and as long as that thing doesn't get infected, in a couple of days that starts to heal itself. Now, you need to give your body the nutritional support that it needs to be able to do that job. If your body is not, and this is why the 90 nutrients is so important, you got to nutrify the body. Because if you're not giving your body the nutritional support it needs, then it's going to have a hard time healing itself. This is why diabetics, for instance, have a hard time. Their wounds don't heal because they've got this blood sugar imbalance, and it's making it difficult for their body to do its job of healing itself. But your body is a healing machine, and it will rebuild and will regenerate, including the brain. Don't let them swing you and talk no foolishness about your brain can't. No, that's not true. Okay, so you gotta give the body the support it needs to be able to do its job of healing itself. 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids. That's the foundation. Selenium is also very good for the brain. Okay, so in the brain and heart pack, you're also going to get some additional products that are going to help to rebuild what has been lost in the brain. But you can rebuild. Okay? That your body was designed to work that way. So I just want you to understand that and remember that, and don't let anybody tell you that that, you know, once you're going through this problem, then, you know, that's a death sentence for you, and it's just a matter of time. You heard the story Doc Wallach just told. Man, get up every day, know he was in a shave and gone to work after 5 days. Bertha says, wow, good to know. Yeah, Bertha, your body is designed to heal. That's the way God designed us. Yes, princess, God made us that way. Our bodies were designed to heal. We are healing machines. We just have to give our bodies the support that they need to heal and stop doing the damage. Nutrition within itself can only do so much. No amount of nutrition will outdo a poor diet. None. So if you're not willing to clean up your diet, that's like pouring gasoline onto a fire you're trying to put out. It will never go out. As fast as you put it out, you pour gasoline, it flare up again. So you have to clean up your diet. There's only so much nutrition can do. But once you clean up your diet and you nutrify your body, give your body what it needs, and then get out of the toxic environment that you may be in, because toxins will also wreak havoc on your health, including your brain health. There's only so much nutrition can do. But if you're in a good, clean environment, you clean up your diet, you're giving your body the nutrients it needs, you'd be shocked to know what could happen in terms of reversing that degeneration. So I want to spend the last couple minutes of the show talking about some things that you can do to boost your brain health. Sleep and relaxation is very important. You have to rest well because sleep energizes you and it improves your mood and your immune system. And it may also reduce the buildup in the brain of an abnormal protein called beta amyloid plaque, which is associated with Alzheimer's disease. So you want to ensure that you're getting sufficient rest. You should meditate, prayer, all of that works. Manage your stress as much as possible to fend off decline in brain health. It's important that you have a positive attitude and stay happy. Remember that song, Don't Worry, Be Happy? Yeah, work on your mindset. It's very, very important. Social interaction is also very important. You want to be around people. We are social creatures. Leading an active social life can protect you against memory loss. I know in COVID-19, they tell you don't go around people. So even if you connect via Zoom or on the phone, whatever you do, just don't isolate yourself. Social interaction is very important. Spending time with others, engaging in stimulating conversation, staying in touch and connected with family and friends, even if it's virtually, these are all good for your brain health. Studies have shown that those with the most social interaction in their community experience the slowest rate of memory decline. So social interaction is really very important. So here are 10 things that you can do to keep your brain young and healthy. And we've covered some of them already, but I'll just go over them again. Get mental stimulation. Through research with mice and humans, scientists have found that brainy activities stimulate new connections between nerve cells and may even help the brain generate new cells, developing neurological plasticity, it's called, and building up a functional reserve that provides a hedge against future cell loss. So you got to stimulate your brain. Any mentally stimulating activity should help you to build up your brain. Take a course, read a book, try mental gymnastics, figure out a jigsaw puzzle, word puzzles, math problems, experiment with things that require manual dexterity, as well as mental effort, such as drawing, painting, and other crafts. You know, a lot of people like to play games on their phone. Download a word game on your phone where you have to create words or find words. It's something that stimulates your brain. You want to do. We covered physical exercise, very important. Research shows that using your muscles also helps your mind. Animals who exercise regularly increase the number of tiny blood cells that bring oxygen-rich blood to the region of the brain that is responsible for thought. And this is why vascular dementia is a problem, because that restricts that. Exercise also spurs the development of new nerve cells and increases the connections between brain cells. And this results in brains that are more efficient, plastic, and adaptive, which translates into better performance in aging animals. Exercise also lowers blood pressure. And blood pressure, by the way, is a nutritional deficiency as well. Improves, helps with blood sugar balance, reduces mental stress, all of which can help your brain as well as your heart. Okay. Clean up your diet. It's very important that you get some good nutrition, because good nutrition can help your mind as well as your body. For example, people that eat a Mediterranean-style diet that emphasizes fruits, vegetables, fish, nuts, and plant sources of protein are less likely to develop cognitive impairment and dementia. But avoid those oils. Avoid the oils. Improve your blood pressure. High blood pressure, again, that's a result of a nutritional deficiency. High blood pressure in midlife increases the risk of cognitive decline as you get older. So use lifestyle modification to keep your pressure normal. Again, that's a deficiency of calcium, magnesium, glucosamine, and chondroitin. That's a hard tissue category deficiency. So if you fix that, the blood pressure becomes normal. I've seen it happen time and time again. That's one of the easiest things in the world to fix. And we have a health pack in Longevity just for that, the bone and joint pack, to help bring your blood pressure normal. But you got to, try to stay lean, exercise regularly. Again, I'm preaching to the choir, mashing my own corn here. Limit your alcohol intake if you drink alcohol. Reduce the stress in your life, and eat well. Very important. Improve your blood sugar. This is step number 5. High blood sugar levels is an important risk factor for dementia. You can help prevent high blood sugar or blood sugar imbalances by eating right, exercising regularly, staying lean, and you have to get sufficient chondroitin, chromium and chondroitin in your system. If you do have a blood sugar imbalance, that'll balance it right out, and that'll help to keep it under control. Avoid tobacco in all forms. Okay? Do not abuse alcohol. If you are a drinker, you should know that excessive drinking is a major risk factor for dementia. Major. So if you do drink, just be very, very, limit yourself. Don't overdo it, because that is a problem for your brain. Care for your emotions. So important. People who are anxious, depressed, sleep deprived, or exhausted tend to score poorly on cognitive function tests. Poor scores don't necessarily predict an increased risk of cognitive decline as you get older, but good mental health and restful sleep are important goals. Okay, so why risk it? Care for your emotions, do the emotional intelligence, face the problems that you're deal with the problems that you're facing. You know, face them head on. Deal with them as opposed to trying to shove them down deep into your psyche, and then you're still doing damage to your body. Protect your head. Moderate to severe head injuries, even without diagnosed concussions, increase the risk of cognitive impairment. Remember, again, we talked about it in one of my previous shows. Dr. Bennett, I forget his last name, the African gentleman who discovered the condition that football players were suffering from. And he discovered that on the autopsy table, that their brain had been significantly damaged. Why? Because they're constantly getting concussions when playing football. You're just hitting your head, hitting your head, hitting your head. And if you saw the movie Concussion, which talked about his lifestyle, his life story, he explained that your brain doesn't have a protective mechanism for when it bangs up against your skull. So if you're constantly getting head injuries, then you can expect to have some neurological problems. So protect your brain as much as possible. Protect your head. We covered building social networks. That's the final one. Strong social ties have been associated with a lower risk of dementia, as well as lower blood pressure and longer life expectancy. So as much as you can, be a social butterfly. Spend some time with your family and friends. And I know it's hard to do in COVID with the restrictions, so call them on the phone, do a Zoom. You know, there's ways to keep in touch without being in each other's face, but don't allow COVID to stop you from being social. Very important that we keep that connection with other people. So bottom line is research is still evolving, but evidence is strong that people can reduce their risk of cognitive decline by making some key lifestyle changes, which we would have covered during the show. Understand that brain health, or lack thereof, I should say, whether it manifests itself as Parkinson's disease or Alzheimer's disease, any of those neurological degenerative diseases, the key is to address the problem of degeneration. That's the key. Address the problem of degeneration. Balance out your blood sugar. Get sufficient oxygen and rest. Heal your gut. That's the first step to any degenerative disease. Heal your gut is the first step. Step number 2, balance out your blood sugar. Step number 3, make sure you're getting sufficient oxygen. Deep breathing. Step number 4, stimulate your brain. And then step number 5, avoid those statin drugs. And if you do that, if you eat well, if you rest well, I'm telling you, even if you have the challenges, it can be reversed. We will, if you fill out that health evaluation, again, I'm posting it immediately following the show on the official Michelle Malcolm Facebook page. We will contact you to set up a one-on-one consultation, and we will get you on the therapeutic nutrition that your body needs to heal. And I promise you, your body, including your brain, will heal itself. That is what it was designed to do. So let's end the show. Let's see. We're going to look at a couple of your comments. Alex says, awesome and informative show today, Miss Malcolm. I've added the organic eggs to my diet, and I've seen my memory improve with the information and notes that I'm studying in class. Let me tell you, where I get my organic eggs and organic chicken, right from the farmer's market, the Gladstone Road Farmer's Market. Just go ask for Justin. Look for Justin. He has the stall that sells organic chickens and eggs. And you listen, once you start eating organic chicken again, you can go back to eating that garbage, that other garbage, that forced growth garbage, that where they pump up all the growth hormones and antibiotics trying to get the chicken to grow fast, to get it. Once you go back to eating organic chicken, you will not be able to eat that foolishness. It tastes so much better than non-organic chicken. You would be like, what have I been eating all this time? Even the eggs, you can taste the difference when it comes from an organic chicken. So go out to the Gladstone Road Farmers Market, look for the GPS endorsed flyer, and that way you'll know all of the vendors at the Gladstone Road Farmers Market that I personally endorse, who I shop from. So go out there and look for that particular flyer and make sure you support them, because the best way to go is to go organic, eat fresh foods. Okay, let's see. Let's look at some more of your comments. Terry Bullard says, exercising also, especially weight-bearing exercise, increases bone density and growth. Yes, it does. Terry says it's called chronic traumatic encephalopathy. CTE. That's the name of the condition that the African doctor discovered that football players were suffering from. And you know all those stories about those football players who would kill a girlfriend and shoot themselves or just do crazy stuff? That's why their brain was being damaged. And so it's just a matter of you regenerating that damage, regenerating that organ, regenerating whether it's your brain, anything in your body, if it's given the right support, can regenerate itself. All right? That's how God designed us. So, like and share this show. Anybody you know who's suffering from a degenerative brain disorder, get them in front of this information. This is part 1. In future shows, we will look specifically at specific conditions, okay? But this is the foundation. This is where it all begins. Once you get this, you're on your way to fixing the problem. So that's going to do it for me for today. Tomorrow, we are going to be looking at why successive governments have been reluctant to implement income tax. Could it be that because the puppet masters we talk about on this show don't want it, because that means that they will have to pay a hell of a lot more in taxes than they're paying now and take some of the burden off of your back and my back? We're going to be talking about that on tomorrow's GPS. Listen, guys, I really appreciate you being here today. Thank you so much. Thanks to all of my sponsors for making today's show possible. And thank you to all of you for listening in. That's going to do it. My time's gone. I'm Michelle Malcolm. Have a good afternoon, everyone.